Well, hello there. Have you ever found yourself wondering where the heck you can find a larval tear? If I was a larval tear, where would I be? Right? Where would I live? What are the larval tear locations? Right? That I might be able to find one, preferably somewhere early-ish in the game so that I don't have to wait until the dang end game just to be able to respec, right? You got any larval tears in like Liurnia or Limgrave or something like that? Well, friend, worry no more because I got you covered. We're going to look at them, okay? So, first of all, we've got 6 larval tears that I actually care about. And a whole bunch of other ones that I don't care about, and we're not going to get into because they're further in the game, and that's not what I care about, okay? I just care about being able to get a larval tear early. Like I said, I want Limgrave, I want Liurnia. If I have to go to Caelid to get a larval tear, then I'm sad. Alright, I want early game larval tears. So, there's going to be 2 that don't require any combat at all to get them. Wow, right? That being said, you do have to kill Renala in the Ryalucaria Academy to even be able to respec, so it's not like you're going to be able to get away with no combat at all, right? But once you've made it through the Academy and you've killed Renala, then you can easily get these 2 non-combat larval tears pretty early on. We're also going to look at 4 larval tears that do require combat to get, okay? But they're in Limgrave and Liurnia. I won't tell you that they're easy, but I will tell you that you can get them relatively early in the game if you're able to kill the enemies that you need to, right? So we're going to take a look at those as well. And then last, and definitely yes least, we're going to do a very quick overview of some of the later game larval tears that are out there, mainly just so that we're looking at, all of the larval tears, right? This is a larval tear video. We should consider all of the ones that exist. But for the purposes of what I'm doing here, I mainly only care about the early ones. So we're just going to do a real quick glance at the later game larval tears. So our first non-combat larval tear is going to be in the Siofra River in Limgrave. We're going to start out here, we're going to go down the Siofra River well, and then we're going to run for a long time to get there. It's going to be sold by the Abandoned Merchant there in the Siofra River for a total of 3,000 runes.
Oh, a customer.
And for the second one, we're heading to the village of the Albinaurics in Liurnia, starting from the Folly on the Lake Grace, or from the village of the Albinaurics Grace if you happen to already have it. We're just grabbing the Grace real quick, showing off where it is on the map. It's underneath this section of Liurnia. And then the Larval Tear is going to be hidden over here behind one of these coffins. now we have our combat larval tears. Okay, so the first one's going to be at the Agheel Lake South Grace in Limgrave. It's right there where we've just marked. So a lot of the combat larval tears that you're going to find are in the form of there's some kind of an enemy, and you kill that enemy, and then it transforms into something else surprising. And that thing drops the larval tear. So in this case, we have a wandering noble. We kill him. Wow, he was actually a bear the whole time. And then we kill the bear, and that will give us our larval tear. And next we are in Liurnia at the, I think it's the Fallen Ruins of the Lake Grace. This is going to be similar to the one that we just got from the Rune Bear, except very surprisingly, the initial enemy here is actually a strong one. It's not a wandering noble. We're looking for that crayfish right there, okay? And he's going to turn into a grafted scion. And the grafted scion is going to drop our larval tear. And next we have another one in Liurnia. This is an interesting one because this doesn't actually require combat to get the tier itself, but you do have to do combat to kill the boss that gives you access to this area out here. So you have to kill the Royal Knight Loretta at the Caria Manor in order to be able to get out to this area. And then you can follow this path here to get to this merchant who will sell you a larval tear for 3,000 runes. We're looking at the map here because if you look at the location of the larval tear on the map, it looks like it's very close to that other grace, but you have to get here from the Royal Moongazing Grounds grace.
I apologize for I am other than why not pick but please a little
And last, for the larval tears that we care about, this is a two-parter. So we're starting at the artist's shack here in Liurnia to get this painting, because the larval tear is a reward from the painting. So you got to get the painting first, and then you come up here, and again, just like the other one, this is behind the Caria Manor, so this is the reason why this is a combat one, because you have to have killed the Royal Knight Loretta in order to get access to this area. But it doesn't take any actual combat to get the larval tear itself. You just hop on Torrent and you run on down here and grab it. And with that, we are all done. So now you have 6 early game larval tears for you to do some respecs to find a build that you feel comfortable with tackling the rest of Elden Ring, right? We're also going to do a very quick rundown of some of the other ones that you can find later on. I'm not going to go into any detail here. You're going to have to do your own searching to find these, okay? Or if you've really enjoyed the video today, then you should let me know. And maybe I would consider making a part 2. Think about that. So there's 4 more larval tears from overworld enemies that transform, kind of like the rune bear and the crayfish did. There's one in Caelid. There's a guy that turns into a giant troll. There's one in the Altus Plateau. There's a guy that turns into a lion guardian. That's the guys with the sword thing attached to their arm. There's one in the Consecrated Snowfield. It's a guy that turns into another rune bear, although that's probably a much stronger rune bear than the one in Limgrave, right? Right? And there's one in Mount Gelmir. There's a guy, or a corpse. I was unclear on the details. He turns into a worm face enemy. There are also 3 in the Ainsel River that will drop from the Silver Sphere enemies that you're going to find. That's going to be accessible later in the game, so you don't have to worry about that at all. There's going to be 5 in Nokron, also accessible much later in the game. 2 of them are just pickups on the ground. 2 of them come from a boss, and 1 of them comes from another sphere. And then if I've done my homework properly, that should be all of the larval tears that you can get during any single normal playthrough. Obviously, you can repeat all of those for each New Game Plus that you do, but that's your set of tiers that you have to work with, right? Wouldn't it be nice if there was a repeatable way to buy or farm larval tears in something like a DLC? Wouldn't that be nice if there was a DLC that could give us more larval tears? But of course, that's just speculation. None of us knows anything about anything like that, right? And with that, we are done for this video. I hope that anything here has helped you at all, right? I really appreciate having you here. I hope that you've had a good time, because I know that I have. And I will see you later.